This is the first coding lesson for this course. What we're gonna do in this lesson is to create a very basic template for our e-commerce website. We will build an HTML document which contains this template, a header, a content section for products, and a footer. To check the codes of this lesson, open this link in github.com/bastir/amazona and you will have all codes in this lesson. Okay, open your VS Code by pressing Command space in Mac or from Start menu in Windows and search for code and run Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's start coding. The first step is gonna be creating a folder named Amazona and add it to VS Code. From File menu, select Add Folder to Workspace, select Desktop, and click New Folder, set folder name to Amazona, click Create, and go to this folder and click Add. Now, if you click on Explorer icon, you will see empty Amazona folder right here. What we're gonna do at this step is to create a template folder inside Amazona, template, and inside template folder, right click and create new file. Set file name to index.html. Here we are going to create web template of Amazona. To do that, first of all, let's create a basic HTML document. It starts with angle bracket, exclamation mark, doc type, and type HTML and close the angle bracket. By having this line, we set the version of HTML to 5. The next element is HTML itself. Inside HTML, we have two sections, head for entering metadata about this document and body for putting content of this document. For header, I'm going to set the title of this document. That's what you see in your browser tab. Set it to Amazona. In the body section, I'm going to create a div. Div is a HTML element that make it possible for you to create different sections. Inside this div, create 3 sections: header, main, and footer. We can set class to elements. For div, I'm going to set class to grid container because I'm going to use CSS grid in this lesson, and here is the main container for my grid. In the header section, I'm going to create 2 div. The first div is gonna be on the left side and it's a link to the index.html current document, and the caption of this link is gonna be Amazona. Second div is a bunch of links. The first link is gonna be cart.html and the caption is cart, and second link is gonna be sign in.html. Sign in. We have done the header part. Let's go for the main part. In the main part, we are going to create a list of items. I'm gonna use this simple list, li product 1, 2, 3, and 4. We need to make it better later. And the last part is about footer. All right, reserved. Save your file. Right click on index.html and select Reveal in Finder. Double click on your file, and here is the result. For the rest of this lesson, I'm going to convert this style to this one. Create dark background, link in the left and right side, and a footer like this. Let's go for it. The first step is gonna be creating a CSS file because we are going to add some CSS. Right click on template, new file, set file name to style.css, and we need to link this file to this HTML document. To do that, right before title, create a link element, set relation to style sheet, and set href to style.css and close it. It's gonna be like this. I'm ready to add some style. The first style that I'm going to add is this, HTML. And in the HTML, I'm setting font size to 62.5%. Let's create a comment using /*/ and here I'm going to explain why I'm using 62.5%. The default font size for browser is 16 pixel. If you multiply that by 62.5, the result is gonna be 10 pixel. 10 pixel is gonna be 1 rem. Rem is a new measurement that is equal to this value. What you need to do is to just multiply that rem by 10 to get the real number in pixel. The second setting for HTML is setting box sizing to border box. By having this setting, it's easier to manage boxes, add padding, border, and margin. The next style is gonna be for body. First of all, by default, we have a margin around body. We are going to get rid of it. The next setting is gonna be setting height to full height. It's gonna be 100 viewport height, VH. And the last setting is gonna be setting font. Font size is 1.6 rem. Based on this explanation, it's gonna be 16 pixel. And font family, I'm going to use Helvetica because it's a sans serif font. Helvetica. For the screen that doesn't have Helvetica, I set it to Arial. And the last one is gonna be sans serif. That's it about the basic styling. Let's go back to web browser and refresh. As you see, there is no margin and the font is Helvetica. The next step is gonna be adding a style for header, content, and footer and make it similar to this. Let's go for it. I'm gonna create a comment for layout to split this style based on their topic. In the index.html, the main div class name is grid container. Copy this, put a dot and paste it right here, and inside curly bracket, let's add some style. The first style is setting display to grid. Grid is a new layout system for CSS which is very responsive and flexible. When you set the display to grid, you need to define grid templates area. Set grid templates area, put enter, and here inside single quotes, create 3 sections: header, another single quote, main, and the last one is gonna be footer. After setting areas, you need to define your rows and columns. Let's start for grid template columns. This website has only 1 column. There is no sidebar in left or right side. So I just make it 1 fragment. And for the rows, make it 3. Header is gonna be 5 rem, 50 pixel. The rest of the screen is for main, 1 fragment. And the last 50 pixel is gonna be for footer. And don't forget to set height to 100%. That's it about grid container. Based on this document, header, main and footer. What I'm gonna do is start with header. For header, set grid area to header. What's the meaning of this line? We are connecting this element to the header template. So it's gonna be like a placeholder, and here is gonna be put inside this placeholder. Set background color to dark, like this, 20, 30, 40. It's gonna be dark blue. And that's it for header. Let's go for main section. Connect grid area to main and create a padding around it. Padding to 1 rem. And the last one is gonna be footer. For footer, set grid area to footer, and like header, set background color to dark blue. Great. The last setting for footer is color, and set color to white. I always use hexadecimal color code instead of having other systems because it's much better. Let's check the result. Refresh your page. So we are going to get close to this style. The next step is gonna be working on header. I'm going to put Amazona in the left side and move cart and sign in on the right side. To do that, I'm gonna use flex. So to use flex, what we need to do is to create a row class. .row is going to create item next to each other, not in separate lines. To do that, we need to set display to flex. To make rows responsive, set flex wrap to wrap. So if there is no enough space, it's gonna be in separate lines. And create maximum distance between items in a row. To set that, justify content to space between. And the last setting for it is gonna be creating vertically center. Align items center. That's it for rows. I can use rows inside index.html as a class for header because I'm going to have this div and this div, which are child of header, in one line. Set class to row and save it. And here, refresh. As you see, we have Amazona in left side and links in right side. The next step is gonna be removing underline from links. Right after header, I'm going to create a section for common. It's gonna be common classes. Add set anchor text decoration to noun. Is gonna remove underline from links. And if hover happens on a link, change color to orange. FF8000. The next step is gonna be adding a style for headers. Create a section for header, and for links inside header, change the color to white. Color equal to white. And create padding around them. Padding equal to 1 rem. And it should be for links inside header. Header A means that all links inside header. Save it and refresh your page. It's gonna be white. And when you move mouse over them, it's gonna be orange. But for brand, which is Amazona, it's a bit different. I'm not gonna change the color like regular links, and also I'm going to make it bigger. To do that, in the index.html for Amazona, set class to brand, and inside style.css, right after header A, create anchor that has brand class. Set color to white, font size super big, free rem, and font weight to bold. So as you see, we have done with the header part, and very similar to this one. Let's go for footer. For footer, what I'm gonna do is to add a subclass to row. .row.center. If it's center, set justify content to center. That's it. By having this inside index.html and in the footer section, class equal to row center, here is the result. You see, it's center aligned vertically and horizontally. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Let's review what we did together. First of all, we created a template folder, and inside that index.html, we set the title Amazona and linked that to style.css. In the index.html, we created 3 sections: header, main, and footer. And we added some style like making brand link, header links, product section, and also a footer which is center aligned vertically and horizontally. In the style.css, we added some style for header, body, and also for links, and also for header and footer. Great, that's it for this lesson. See you on next lesson.